Are the conversations around this like, because I'm not in the industry, I'm just curious about it. Are the conversations around this kind of like similar to like gun conversations where it's like not everybody should be able to have a drone? Like you should have to go to like a certain kind of school or take some kind of online class to even own one before you can get one.
It's a good question. I don't know. I mean, I think since you do have to have a license for it, you do have
Right.
to take a test. You do have to get it registered. Um, I'm sure there's like some discussion about it, but not really. I
Nothing to
mean,
your knowledge.
it's like, yeah, maybe not everyone should have a drone or be able
Right.
to have a drone, but it's like, well, then again, like, I mean, are you just flying for fun or like what are you doing, you know?
Right.
So it's not necessarily like it could potentially hurt someone, but like not the way like a gun could. Like
Right. Right. Right.
the drone is intended to be in the air,
It's a
flying
privacy
around,
thing. It has nothing like I mean, unless a drone like falls from the sky and hits somebody in the head.
which yeah, has
Right.
happened, but yeah, I mean, that's not really the concern. Now it's just like the FAA is trying to keep up with everything,
Yeah.
and remote ID is something that has just been coming out like in September, where now it's going to be easier to like track drones
Hmm.
and track the pilot who's flying the drone.
Okay. So kind of like a VIN number for a car.
Well, it's basically more like a GPS. So like if you were like who's flying that drone, you can get the drone stats and then you can get the stats of the person and where they're at.
What do you think about that? Do you think people should know about like who's flying what drone
I
if they have
think
the proper approval?
I think overall to move the industry forward, it's absolutely necessary
Okay.
because if I want to fly to LA, I
Right.
want to fly a drone to LA from here. I'm going to need some serious ability to like have other people know what where the drone's going, information about the drone,
Right.
detection, all that kind of stuff to have like a safe flight, just like every like plane that takes off. But it's also a huge infringement on privacy of drone pilots right now, the way that they launched it.
Gotcha.
Um, and we're still in like the rollout of it.
Yeah.
Um, but basically the way they did it is now it's like the open source
Okay.
where like if you wanted to find out who was flying that drone,
Right.
you could find out where they are potentially.
Yeah.
And they did that for like fire departments and safety. They're like, well, if public safety needs to find that person, they need to be able to find it really quick. They shouldn't be able to, or they shouldn't have a bunch of firewalls that they have to get through.
All
It's
right.
like, okay, I mean, technically, yes, but that means that everyone and their mother who has a phone can now know that I'm flying a $5,000 piece of equipment and where I'm at. And it's like people already are trying to figure out what I'm doing
Right.
without that.
Right. Right.
Now it's like, oh, there's a drone in the air. Where's the pilot? All right. It's like only a matter of time before someone decides like it's time to take this pilot's drone, you know?
Right.
Like that's expensive equipment. And I think that's the concern. I think overall it's a great idea and it's mandatory for where the industry wants to go,
Right.
but how they're doing it is definitely concerning to drone pilots.
What is the intent? Like, what are some of the things that drones are going to revolute? Like in 10 years, what does the drone businesses look like? Is like mail, like Amazon delivery completely overrun by drones? Is there a lot of just crazy amount of drones in the air? Is there going to be like big businesses that try to keep small businesses or random people from even owning drones that can, fly to LA, like you said? Like, how is that? I'm sure that's probably already in the works, but like what do you foresee happening with drones?
I mean, I think I know a lot about it, but I think I don't even know.
Okay,
Like it's the tip of the iceberg.
gotcha.
But I think security is going to be drone like all day, every day.
Okay,
So like you're trying to secure a building, your like security guards are now just going to be like either automated drones. I think a big thing is going to be automation with drones.
okay,
Like DJI came out with the drone in the box, where basically you can put a box down and open it up and deploy the drone without anyone being there, which is pretty like next level. It's like
so okay,
space age stuff.
what do you mean?
So basically you can press a button and the box opens up and the drone's like ready to fly. And then the drone can take off. And you could
Oh,
potentially do that remotely.
so
That's
you
the
don't
idea.
push any buttons on the drone or anything. It's
Yeah,
just
it's
a
not like
box.
I'm out there like opening the box and then putting the drone together and then starting the drone and flying it. It's like all automated.
Okay.
And so I think that's the future for sure. For a lot of industries. But like, yeah, security. Um, for me, like I love video production, I love cinematography.
Right.
That's always gonna be like manual flying because just creativity in general can't be like replicated, you know.
Right.
So if I'm really good at like video production, capturing really, really cinematic shots, like there's not going to be like automated cameras that like tell the whole story of a movie basically. So
Right.
I'm not worried about that. It's more like the construction stuff where they want to get weekly updates. So I'll do monthly and weekly updates for a lot of projects.
Okay.
There's potential that they could just have a drone in the box just on like the construction site, and then once a week the construction manager goes, I want to get like some updated shots of the construction site, and then kind of presses the button. Maybe he's there, maybe he's not. Maybe he's in his office, like in another city, and he's like, all right, deploy the drone on 123 Street or whatever. And it goes up, captures the footage, and then comes down. That's definitely going to happen.
Okay.
So there's going to be more drone like traffic really in the next 5 or 10 years. We're also probably going to see something that's called VTOLs, vertical takeoff and landing devices,
Okay.
which are big like air taxis. That's basically what it is,
Okay.
where it's a drone like thing that's made to carry people. Like that's 100% going to happen in the next decade.
Really?
Oh, 100%.
So that will be like, is that what's going to happen with cars
So, I mean, it's
eventually?
just like, you know, when cars came out, it's not like everyone got a car,
Right.
you know. Ford, when like that started, it was because he marketed like everyone should have a car. So I'm going to make a car that's actually reasonable
Affordable.
priced. Yeah,
Right.
affordable for everyone to have. Before that, there were still cars. It was just very expensive.
Right.
People who were like the owner of the Raiders, like he's probably going to have one. 100%. It's just
Right.
like a helicopter, but
Right.
it's going to be now really what they're trying to do is bring it into like air travel. So like if I'm in Summerlin and I've got a flight from Vegas to LA or Vegas somewhere, there's probably going to be a Summerlin hub where I go and grab an air taxi to take me to the airport
Mm.
versus grabbing an Uber to take me to the airport. And like all these big cities, that's what they're really going to try to do. It's like to avoid, just to like remove all the like congestion on the
Yeah.
roads. So that's their goal, is like, let's use these VTOLs to be another part of, maybe it's like I buy that plane ticket and that's included in it.
Right.
And then eventually, like in a long time from now, who knows, like once it actually becomes affordable, then people are just going to be using them all the time.
People will be able to fly. Oh,
Yeah. And like, yeah, that would be cool.
that
I
would be
mean,
cool.
the
But
military people are flying.
would it be so think about, what do you mean?
I mean, they've got those crazy things that they have on their arms and stuff.
Oh, like the jetpacks
Yeah,
or
the
whatever.
jetpacks.
Yeah.
They're running around and stuff.
Yeah, but those aren't like, I don't know.